So you're a Mac user, you're into cybersecurity, and you've hit that classic question. How in the world do I get the awesome power of Kali Linux running on my machine? It might seem kind of complicated, but honestly, it all boils down to just one thing: figuring out the right path for you. And if you're thinking about it, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down all your options, step by step, so you can find the absolute perfect fit. Doesn't matter if you're a total beginner or if you're a pro who needs every last drop of performance. Let's dive in. All right, first things first, there is no single right way to do this. I always think of it like a map, you know? There are a few different paths that all lead to the same destination. We're going to look at the safe, scenic route, and we'll also check out the fast but more dangerous highway. That way you can pick the journey that's best for you. Okay, so here are the 4 main ways you can go. The first one, using a virtual machine, is the one we're going to recommend for pretty much everyone. It is by far the safest and easiest way to get started. Then you've got dual booting, which is definitely more advanced. A live USB is fantastic if you just want to try things out temporarily. And, well, there's replacing macOS completely, which, trust me, we really don't recommend. For most people, the choice really comes down to these two: virtual machine versus dual boot. A VM is kind of like running Kali as a totally separate, safe little app right inside of your macOS. Super easy, super safe. Dual booting, on the other hand, gives Kali direct access to your Mac's hardware. You get full native speed, but it's way more complex and, there's a real risk you could accidentally wipe your data. So you gotta ask yourself, what do you care about more? Simplicity and safety, or pure raw performance? For most of us, especially if you're just dipping your toes in, the answer is going to be safety and simplicity. So let's start there. Let's walk down that first, most recommended path, using a virtual machine. So what the heck is a virtual machine anyway? Well, the easiest way to think about it is, it's a computer inside your computer. Seriously, you double-click an icon, an application window opens, but inside that window is a complete, fully functional Kali Linux system. It's totally sandboxed, which means anything you do in Kali stays in Kali. It can't touch your main macOS system, keeping all your important files completely safe. And the best part? Getting started is unbelievably simple. You literally only need 3 things. You need your Mac, obviously. You need a piece of software called a virtualizer. VirtualBox is a great one, and it's totally free. And you need the official Kali Linux installation file, which is called an ISO file. That's it. That's the whole list. And here's what the process looks like, broken down into 5 easy steps. First, you download your software, like VirtualBox, and you grab that Kali ISO. Then, inside VirtualBox, you'll click New to create a new virtual machine. You just have to tell it you're installing Linux, and specifically a Debian-based version, because that's what Kali is built on. After that, you just point it to the ISO file you downloaded, and run through Kali's super friendly installer. And that last step? Oh, it's a game changer. You install something called Guest Editions. It's what lets you do things like run Kali in full screen or copy and paste between your Mac and your Kali VM. Do not skip that step. Okay, but what if you're thinking, nah, I need every single ounce of performance my Mac can give me? Well, if you're comfortable with a much more technical setup, then this advanced path, dual booting, might be for you. But just know, this path requires some serious caution. Before we go a single step further, I need you to hear this loud and clear. This is absolutely non-negotiable. You are about to mess with your Mac's hard drive partitions. If you make one wrong click, you could lose, well, everything. I cannot say this enough. Please do not even think about attempting this without a full, complete, and verified backup of all your data. Seriously. All right, with that very serious warning out of the way, here's what you'll need for this route. You'll need that Kali ISO again, of course. You'll need a USB flash drive, at least 8 gigs, and you'll need a great little tool called Balena Etcher, which gets that USB drive ready. And a quick heads up, this whole process is a lot more straightforward on the older Intel-based Macs. We'll talk about Apple's Silicon Macs in just a minute. So this is what it looks like. First, you use Balena Etcher to create that bootable USB. Easy enough. Now, step 2. This is the nerve-wracking part. You have to go into your Mac's disk utility and shrink your main partition to carve out some free space for Kali. After that, you'll restart your Mac while holding down the Option key. This brings up a menu where you can choose to boot from your USB drive. During the Kali install, you have to be careful and choose manual partitioning to tell it to install in that empty space you just made. And finally, you install a little thing called Grub. That's the menu you'll see every time you turn on your Mac from now on, asking if you want to boot into macOS or into Kali. But hey, maybe a full installation feels like a lot of commitment right now. What if you just want to take Kali for a spin, see what it's all about? Well, for that, there's a perfect no strings attached option. And this is the magic of the live USB. The entire Kali Linux operating system boots and runs directly from the flash drive, right into your Mac's memory. Nothing gets written to your internal hard drive, not a single file. So when you're done, you just shut down, pull out the USB, and your Mac is exactly the way it was before. It's the ultimate test drive.
And getting this going is a piece of cake. It's just 3 steps. You download the Kali ISO, you use Balena Etcher to flash it to a USB drive. Hey, look familiar? It's the exact same first step as the dual boot method. Then, you just restart your Mac, hold down the Option key, and pick the USB drive from the menu. Boom, you're running a full version of Kali Linux. It's that easy.
Okay, before you race off and start downloading files, hold on. We need to cover a couple of final but absolutely crucial points that apply to everyone, no matter which path you're thinking of taking. So please pay close attention here. All right, this one is huge. If you have a modern Mac, anything with an M1, M2, or M3 chip, stop. The standard dual boot method we just talked about, it is not an option for you. The whole architecture is different. For you, you must use a virtual machine. Specifically, you need a VM program that supports Apple Silicon, like UTM or Parallels, and you have to make sure you download the special ARM64 version of the Kali image from their website. And finally, 2 golden rules for everyone. Rule number 1, and I feel like a broken record, but it's that important. Back up your Mac before you make any changes to your system. And rule number 2, just be aware that Mac Wi-Fi hardware can be, well, a little finicky in Linux. It's a super common headache, so just be prepared that you might have to do a little troubleshooting and install some extra drivers to get your Wi-Fi working. So there you have it, the super safe, beginner-friendly, scenic route with a VM, the high-speed, expert-level highway of a dual boot, and the quick, no-commitment test drive with a live USB. You've got the map, you've got the warnings, and you've got the instructions. So the only real question left is, which path are you going to take?